School incident made you want to avoid school. A kid nearly unalived me and my friend. First time, I was in 6th grade. My friend group was very diverse, with boys and girls of many races. My very best friend was named Lee. He was Asian, Korean to be exact, and very attractive. He had a cute smile and personality and lots of people liked him. I loved him so much I couldn't explain it. He was always there for me whenever I needed it. But eventually I started to realize that he had stopped talking about his problems and just listened to mine. I thought, maybe his life wasn't very interesting at the time or he just is growing quieter. But what was actually going on, I figured out too late. It was a normal day and the lunch bell rang. It was pouring rain and a tornado watch was out, so we didn't get the option of eating outside. I sat with my friends but realized Lee wasn't there. He was there in the previous period, so I was curious where he was. But I ignored it since I trusted him to be somewhere like the dentist's or something like that. It was about 35 minutes into lunch, so we had 26 minutes left. All of a sudden, kids began to pile by the back door. I made my way to the front and saw teachers gathering and screaming to the top of the building. Some kid pushed open the door and we all fled the schoolyard around the teachers. They yelled at us to go back inside but gave up. I knew something was wrong. I ran outside and looked up to see a boy holding Lee about to drop him off the 4-story roof. My friend Everlyn was the first one to scream. I was terrified and crying. Some kid was about to kill my best friend. Lee was almost passed out. The kid was holding his neck. Teachers were yelling at him to let go, some even crying. And then it happened. The boy shoved Lee off. He hit the ground faster than you could blink. Teachers ran and kids called 911. The boy who shoved him off ran. Ambulances showed up about 4 minutes later. Me and my friends couldn't go see him because we weren't allowed, so we just watched sobbing and hugging and praying. He didn't die. Thank the Lord, he didn't die. But he was horribly hurt for a long time. He ended up with a severely broken neck and back. His left arm was shattered along with his left hip and leg. Both ankles were dislocated. He was concussed with a cracked skull. His face was damaged all over. He was on life support for 4 days and was so close to dying. But after almost 5 months, he was able to get out of the hospital and finished with very few permanent injuries. Even though he survived and is fine now, I'm still scared. The kid got put in jail for a while, but I never kept up with him. I'm so scared something might happen again just like that. The second time it happened was a little later in middle school. I was auditioning for a play since I was a theater geek. This was the first time I had gone for a big part, since I was too afraid in the past. Usually, this girl named Lindsay got the lead. Occasionally, someone else was casted, but they usually got sick or something and Lindsay was the backup. I was so excited when I got casted as the female lead. I was told I had a great voice and I was a good actor. Lindsay was understudied like expected. I trained and worked hard non-stop, but it was our first rehearsal when it happened. I was going on in 5 minutes when I felt a force hit me. I blacked out and woke up in a closet. I heard my song begin to play. I ran to open the door and it was locked. I fidgeted with the door and yelled, but it was no use. After my first song, I was off for a while. I had time to get out. But only a few moments later, the door burst open and shut behind this girl, Lindsay. She walked up to me. "This part is mine," she yelled. I began to say, "But I got cast," but then she launched at me. Grabbing my shirt, she struck me across the face, but then heard a lead female, "Where are you? You are out in 3. She shoved me back. "I'll deal with you after." I just waited for whatever she had prepared for me. And then after her part was over, actually, my part, she stormed back in. She got straight to it. She grabbed my shirt and yanked me up. She threw me to the other side of the closet as the buckets at the top of the shelf fell on me. She piled on me and pulled a knife out of her pocket and held it up to my chin. I had never thought anyone could be this crazy about theater. "You will be dead if you don't give me the part. I'll give you it." "No you won't, liar." She threw me against the other wall and I felt a snap on my ankle, definitely broken. She was choking me as I felt myself going lightheaded. "Will you give me the part?" Yes. She let me go. She walked out. I coughed up blood and felt weak on the floor. I passed out only a few seconds later for all I know. I woke up to see my best friend and the theater manager staring down at me. "You okay?" my friend asked. "WH what?" I asked, my vision still blurred. They helped me stand up. I coughed one more time and blood poured out of my mouth. I suddenly felt the pain in my ankle as I stumbled back over. I choked and gargled blood again. "I need to grab the ice. You call 911, my theater manager said. She ran out as my friend called 911. I was able to look in the mirror once I got to the hospital. My neck in a brace, my left eye swollen nearly shut, a small cut on my chin, my lips swollen and bloody, the right side of my face bruised from the first hit. I got well pretty fast, other than my throat, but it terrified me. I never did theater again. My voice never sounded as good again either. So altogether, these are the 2 main experiences that scared me so bad I didn't want to go to school.